Learn more. Know more.
Have you ever felt like something's off despite doing everything right? Maybe you're weary of constant explanations, endless pursuits, or just the overwhelming din. What if the answer lies not externally, but within? By quieting the outside noise and turning inward, you can profoundly transform your life. Why do we obsess over others' perceptions? It's curious, isn't it? We rise each day, instantly pondering external judgments. What will they think if I act this way? What if I stumble? Will they mock or support me? We exist as if perpetually on stage, the world our audience. Yet the truth is, few are scrutinizing us as intently as we imagine. People are preoccupied, absorbed in their own worlds, much like you. So why squander precious energy on perceived judgment? Focusing on yourself isn't selfishness. It's recognizing that your life, growth, and tranquility blossom the moment you reclaim your power from external opinions. The instant you filter out the surrounding chatter, your inner voice reemerges. What transpires when you embrace silence? Initially, it's unsettling. We're accustomed to articulating, justifying, demonstrating, and defending. But when you consciously choose silence, something potent ignites. You begin to perceive the world with sharper clarity. You discern the genuine intent behind others' words. You distinguish those who value your presence from those who only acknowledge your voice. Silence imbues you with an enigmatic quality. Others can't decipher your thoughts, granting you a subtle, authentic power. Not manipulative, but profound inner control. You shift from reacting to observing, learning. In this quiet space, your confidence subtly, steadily expands. The more silent you become, the more you grasp that you needn't articulate your journey. Simply walk it. Is self-focus a sign of weakness? Some will claim you've changed, grown distant, cold, or self-absorbed. But in reality, you've become focused. You're not dismissing people, you're disregarding distractions. Your silence isn't born of being lost, it's born of being found. You've ceased chasing fruitless conversations and trying to gain understanding from those unwilling to give it. Focusing on yourself means acknowledging your inherent worth. It means you've stopped gauging your value by your utility or entertainment value to others. This often discomfits those who preferred the version of you riddled with self-doubt. However, you're not obligated to remain your past self. You're entitled to evolve, to safeguard your peace, and crucially, to do so in silence. Why do some speak merely to be seen? Have you encountered individuals who seem incapable of ceasing their chatter, as if silence portends their disappearance? Some speak to occupy space, others to mask insecurity. They believe if they vocalize enough, they'll appear intelligent, impress someone, or find belonging. But you don't need to speak to be seen or to validate your existence. Your presence suffices. Your energy, your focus, your self-respect, these resonate far more powerfully than any noise. The most impactful individuals I've encountered speak sparingly, but their every word carries weight, having grasped that silence is strength and genuine attention is earned, not begged for. Can silence be a superpower? Absolutely. Silence can be your ultimate tool, not against others, but against distractions. When you cultivate the ability to sit with your own thoughts, when you resist the urge to immediately broadcast every plan, goal, or update, you become more resilient. You protect your energy, disengage from draining conversations, and become impervious to inconsequential opinions. Silence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. It fosters focus, reflection, and rejuvenation. It enables you to remain composed in a chaotic world, Let others speculate about your thoughts. You owe no one access to your mind. Let your silence shield your peace, and your peace fuel your growth. Why cease constant self-explanation? Because each explanation is an attempt to be understood, and not everyone desires to understand you. Some pose questions not to learn, but to judge. Others seek details for later gossip. Explaining yourself to the wrong people is like watering a dead plant. It exhausts you, leaves you depleted, and yields no growth. You are not here to convince anyone. You are here to become yourself. From this moment, try this. Say less, do more. Let your actions speak, your progress explain. If someone doesn't grasp it, that's perfectly fine. Your journey is not a group project. It's uniquely yours. Why is self-focus not selfish? We're often raised to believe that prioritizing ourselves is wrong, that we must constantly assist others, always be available, always be agreeable. Yet, there's a crucial distinction between kindness and self-abandonment. When you focus solely on yourself, you're not disregarding the world. You're healing your own. You're mending internal fractures, clearing mental clutter, and learning to be your own advocate before becoming one for others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Continuous giving without replenishment leads to burnout. Therefore, guard your peace, preserve your energy. The more complete you are internally, the more powerfully you can contribute to both yourself and others. What happens when you stop engaging with drama? Silence obliterates drama. Drama thrives on reaction. It requires attention to survive. But the moment you cease feeding it, it starves. You needn't fight every battle, respond to every slight, or justify your silence. Sometimes your most effective response is none at all. Let them chatter. Let them assume. Let them await a reaction that never materializes. This is how you triumph. This is how you maintain control. This is how you safeguard your time, your peace, and your mind. Why keep your goals private? Not everyone celebrates your triumphs, and some inquire about your endeavors only to secretly hope for your failure. When you keep your goals to yourself, you allow them to mature. You shield them from negativity, judgment, and comparison. You keep them sacred. Talk less, move more. Let your results precede you. Let your work speak volumes. Because when your focus is on yourself, not the external din, you become unstoppable. Why do certain individuals exhaust you? Because not everyone merits your energy. Some don't listen, they merely await their turn to speak. Some don't care, they compete. When you're perpetually offering advice, support, and attention, you begin to feel drained, exploited, and worst of all, unseen. So, what's the solution? Go silent. Reclaim your energy. Stop pursuing connection with those who only acknowledge you when they need something. Protect your space. You're not difficult to love. You're simply done performing. Why is inner peace more resonant than words? True peace requires no validation. It simply is. It manifests in your demeanor, resides in your eyes, and communicates without sound. When you cease reacting, explaining, and performing, people sense your peace. They notice the shift. They may not comprehend it, but they will feel it. This is the beauty of silence. It compels people to listen, even when you utter no words. How can you train your mind to focus solely on yourself? Begin by observing how frequently your mind wanders from your own life, dwelling on what others said or what they might think. Now, gently guide it back. Breathe. Concentrate on your breath. Then ask, what do I need right now? You don't require their opinion, their social media presence, or their permission. The more consistently you redirect your mind to yourself, the more potent your focus becomes. It's not selfishness, it's survival. Why do some fear your silence? Because they can no longer decipher you. They don't know your thoughts, can't predict you, control you, or exploit you. Your silence unsettles them, but that's their concern, their insecurity, not your responsibility. You are not here to ensure others feel secure in your silence. You are here to feel secure in your own skin. What can you discern when the world grows quiet? Everything. You hear your own voice again, your genuine desires, your authentic goals, not those borrowed from others. Silence dissipates the noise, helping you distinguish what is truly yours from what was imposed upon you. It grants you the space to feel again. In that silence, you will encounter your true self, and that's where transformation commences. What occurs when you cease seeking validation? Something powerful. You stop waiting. You stop altering who you are to gain approval. You stop asking, did I do enough? Was that okay? Do they like me? Instead, you begin asking superior questions. Do I like who I'm becoming? Am I proud of myself? Is this authentic to me? The truth is, most people are too absorbed in their own thoughts to notice your missteps. So why live for their opinion? When you stop pursuing validation, you begin cultivating genuine confidence. Not the kind derived from applause, but the kind that endures even in silence. Why is it acceptable to outgrow people? Because growth implies change, and not everyone is meant to accompany you indefinitely. You might find yourself craving deeper conversations, more serenity, more purpose, less drama. But some individuals remain in your past, and they'll attempt to pull you back. That's when silence becomes imperative, not out of malice, but because you are now choosing yourself, and you owe no one an explanation for your growth. You're not being cold, you're safeguarding the new version of yourself, the one that took years to construct. How do you know you're finally focused on yourself? You stop observing others' lives as if they were a movie. You cease comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You begin showing up for your own goals consistently every single day. You stop caring who's observing. You stop explaining your plans. You stop rushing results. You begin to move differently, calmly, quietly, consistently. And that's the secret. No drama, no noise, just you and the work. What if they don't comprehend the new you? Let them not comprehend. It's not your obligation to make sense to those who only knew your past. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to heal. You're allowed to change direction. And some won't like that. They favored the version of you who was always accessible, always apologetic, always trying to prove something. But that version is gone. You needn't convince them you're better now. Just be better, quietly, strongly, on your own terms. What happens when you embrace your own path? You stop running races not meant for you. You stop pursuing what appears popular and start building what feels authentic. You stop performing. You start creating. You stop worrying about who's ahead and start walking with purpose. The moment you stop comparing paths is the moment you forge your own. And that's how leaders are born, not from noise, not from attention, but from profound, quiet focus on one thing, becoming your best self. Why is self-focus and silence a mindset for growth? Because when you focus solely on yourself, you reclaim your power. You cease wasting time on people, drama, distractions, and noise. You return to your core. You recall who you are, what you desire, and why you began. And when you remain silent, you provide your progress a safe haven to flourish. No pressure, no scrutinizing eyes, just you, your effort, and your peace. This mindset, focus, and silence is the crucible of true transformation. No shortcuts, no grand displays, just inner work yielding external results. You don't need to be loud to make an impact. Sometimes the most profound growth unfolds in silence. If this resonates with you, know this: you're not being selfish, you're being intentional. You're choosing peace, focus, genuine progress. Let the world continue its chatter. You have things to build, healing to undertake, and a future that demands your complete attention. Stay strong, stay silent, stay focused. You've got this.